it's still early, but this game, it might end up being my new game of the year.
You gonna eat those Twinks?
That's not what they're... You know what? Help yourself.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here to talk about Dispatch. What is Dispatch? I feel like when I was doing my reaction videos to the trailer for this, there wasn't a lot of people that really had heard about this game. I was surprised because it's by some of the same people that are from Telltale Games, and a lot of us are familiar with Telltale Games. Obviously, Wolf Among Us, and you know, there's the Borderlands Telltale Games, there's the Batman Telltale Games, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. Oh my goodness, Game of Thrones destroyed me playing that Telltale game. So I thought that a lot of people might be aware of it, but I was surprised to find out that there were a lot of people who were just not aware of what this is or the significance of it happening. What happened is some of the folks from Telltale Games and some folks from Ubisoft, it's basically a bunch of different people that got together and they made this new studio called Adhoc Studios, and they are going to be continuing Wolf Among Us. There will be a Wolf Among Us 2. So it's kind of like Adhoc is like the return of Telltale in a way. And I would say if you have seen any of the gameplay from Dispatch, and that's why you clicked on this video, then you would agree with me in saying that Dispatch also kind of follows along in the same vein. In this game, we're playing as Mecha Man, who was kind of like Iron Man, but without unlimited money, in essence. He is a man by the name of Robert Robertson. Yep, we're going full superhero with this one. And he, in essence, had his suit destroyed to the point that he cannot repair it. And he doesn't have any powers of his own. So in order to be a superhero again, he has joined this service that is a superhero dispatch service where they send heroes, they deploy them out to calls, and he's going to be working doing that. Basically on a headpiece. He is literally the man, you know, at the computer. Everybody needs a guy at a computer, and that is what Mecha Man becomes for a team of heroes who were initially all villains. Basically think Suicide Squad or Thunderbolts. I'd say it leans more Thunderbolts because they're not on missions where they're gonna, you know, something terrible will happen to them and they won't make it back. These are missions that are more mundane in most cases. They're known as the Z Team, and it's your job as Mecha Man to try to turn them into some semblance of a superhero team. And you are doing this working beneath Blonde Blazer, who recruits you to this job, who is... I really like Blonde Blazer, that's all I'm gonna say. And she unfortunately is romantically with someone. There's also another love interest for Mecha Man, I believe, in the form of Invisigirl, who's one of the members of the Z Team, who is also very difficult and has had a really hard life. So you have romance elements, you have the action, and in between all of that, you have the fun of the dispatch game of trying to figure out which heroes to send out to the right call based on their skill sets. There's a really cool mechanic for deciding if you are successful or if you fail in terms of your dispatch, in terms of completing the mission you sent the hero out for. The mechanic is based on an area of control that you have, based on the skill sets of the heroes that you have, which expands outward depending on what they're good at. And then there are different requirements for that mission that you don't know until after you've already sent people out. And you have to hope that there is overlap between those two fields, and then a little ball will ping pong around, and if it lands in the area that is within both parameters, you have succeeded in the mission. I find that to be such a cool design element, but also there's a hacking mini game, guys, and I love to hack. I love hacking. I loved it in Fallout, and I also love it in this. So that's basically what Dispatch is and what it's about, and why you need to play it. Yes, you, viewer at home, is because it is just so masterfully made. And I'm not just talking about the mechanics, and I'm not just talking about the story. And both of those so far are a 10 out of 10. But then there is the voice acting. And the voice acting is an 11 out of 10. And the other cool element is that if you are into YouTube, which I imagine to some degree you are, if you are here watching this video, there are a lot of famous YouTubers who have lended their voices to it as well, who many of which are also voice actors. So I loved that element, and they all really match their characters, I feel, so well. And the cool thing is that they really wanted, I think, the voices of these people. So you have, Charlie, Moist Critical. And then we've also got Alana Pierce is in it. We've also got Jacksepticeye. And then add in the fact that you also just have a lot of amazing actors as well. And some folks from Critical Role who are, of course, also voice actors. So it's just got a star-studded cast. And everyone is bringing their A game. And it's so moving, honestly, because of all of these elements. I love the animation style as well, and it basically feels like you are playing through a superhero TV show that is original. It is a workplace superhero comedy where you are just dealing with the antics within an office and trying to get through your day and hopefully get back to being a hero again, which I think is what Mecha Man dreams of, at least the way I'm playing this character. There's a lot of range for choices in terms of how mean or how nice you can be to people, which I also appreciate. Goodness knows there have been some games lately that have tried to remove our options for, getting to be not nice to people, getting to be mean or getting to be a jerk. And I love that you can go full jerk mode with this. I've been playing it here on YouTube over on the live tab, and I will continue to play it every Wednesday when we get 2 new episodes each Wednesday. So for the next 3 weeks, there's just going to be drops of episodes, and then you can go through. I think the cool thing about this is that because it is an episodic game, each week you're getting another part of the game. So when I did my first gameplay, someone in the comments, I think, was asking, is that the entire game? Because it feels really short. Is that just a demo? And I said, no, although there is a demo. And playing the game, the first gameplay that I did is not the entire game. It's just 2 episodes. I personally really like that. I know there's some people that just want to play the entire game and let's go. But what I love about it is it gives me the opportunity to digest everything I've played through. And it's kind of fun because then each week, me and the people in my community that watch my live streams, whether it's here on YouTube or over at twitch.tv/vampex13, where I stream 5 days a week on both of these platforms, they get to come back in with me and we can kind of discuss, and we can also talk in between and talk about, in that last episode, what do you think's going to happen next, or who's going to end up with who, or what are we into? It gives us more time to reflect. And the story for this game, it's so well written. I think you want that time to reflect. So I like that. Once the game is out, of course, you can wait and you could just binge the entire game. And I mean, there's a lot of replayability here. I think it's also just got a great price point. It's, I think in Canadian, it came out to $39. What is it on Steam right now? At the time of this recording, it's actually 10% off because they did an introductory offer. That'll probably have ended by the time this video goes live, though. But I also just love when games do that. But the other cool thing about this game is that it's just got a great price point, even without the 10% off. So it's $38.99 Canadian for the base game. And then there's also a deluxe edition that you can get that comes with 4 digital comics that are based in the world, and then also the soundtrack, I believe. But I feel like $38.99 for the base is really good, especially when you have a game that's as replayable as this. So I really love that. And I think in USD it comes to $30, $29.99 maybe in USD. Don't quote me on that, but it's a good price point, is what I'm getting to here. And I think you need to play it because it is just so well done. It's the return of some folks from a studio that many of us loved, and it's worth your time, at least so far. And like I said, it might be my new game of the year. I'm gonna have to wait to see how the story plays out, because with a game like this, the ending is very important. However, I can see the potential, and I hope that if you check it out, you do too. I just kind of wanted to come here to rant about Dispatch a bit because I've really been loving it, and I just wanted to make sure that people were hearing about it if they weren't aware. and that they were checking it out. I don't want to spoil anything that's going to happen, but I will be coming back to do a full review on the game once I have finished all of the episodes. And I mean, if you want an episodic review like I do with TV shows, we could do that here with Dispatch. So let me know down in the comments below, and maybe if this video, does really well, I'll come back and give my spoiler-filled thoughts on episode 1 and 2 and where I think it's going and who I'm loving the most and who maybe I'm preparing to maybe remove from the team, because based on the trailer that I saw for the next episodes, we might have to make some tough choices coming up. We shall see. That's all I have for this one, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking it out. And if you like when I talk about video games, I do that. Actually, we just talked about something crazy, which is Halo coming to PlayStation. What is happening? Check that out over here. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, stay nerdy, friends. Bye!